I ate raw meat to kill myself.
In my last video titled Visiting the Black Pill Community, I briefly mentioned the raw meat diet people. And due to my raging misogyny, I never mentioned the primal ladies. Today I will try to adapt a growth mindset and overcome my insulish worldview. I will do this by starting with the ladies and dedicating a decent part of the video to them. The raw meat community essentially started in the 90s by some guy, a Jonas von der Planets, born under the name of John Richard Switgart. Richard was very schizo. I mean, the stories he says are just batshit crazy, and only a person with a crazy mind could make this shit up.
It was like he passed a test, and they went and hunted a rabbit or something, and killed it and put it at his feet, and like gestured for him to eat it. And he thought that they knew he was trying to kill himself, so he was like, oh, you guys are trying to help me commit suicide by telling me to eat this raw meat. So he ate like a squirrel or something raw, and he thought he was going to die from it. And he said it was the complete opposite. Fucking wolves or coyotes were like, hey, eat this raw meat. That's why he did it. It's like actually crazy. But
that is a crazy origin story. Like,
his origin story is literally like Dr. Doom's origin story. Like it's actually unbelievable. He said that he remembered being born. Like he has like a super photographic, pseudo-photographic memory. He said he remembered being born. And I fucking believe him. Like, dude, I believe him. All this crazy shit he says it is true. It is. Like, those coyotes did give him meat, and all this shit is real.
He advocated for a raw dairy and meat-based diet with some raw fruit and vegetable juices. He also was very against any form of vaccines. A Jonas preached for his very special way of bacteria and detox-based diet for around 25 years. And he wasn't very well known. Until mid to late 2010s, when a new champion arose, Sveriga, or Goatis as he is more commonly known nowadays. And Goatis really made the raw meat and dairy diet become somewhat popular. The thing I notice about these specific strange diets is that the larger percent of its followers are men, higher is the amount of animal products in the diet. It is safe to assume 90 out of 100 or more of the people that promote these types of diets are men, such as the paleo and the carnivore diet. Whereas, for example, the vegan diet, the percentage of female followers ranges from somewhere around 60 to over 80. And the larger the percentage of a diet's followers are women, higher in that said diet is the amount of plants consumed. And generally, the more women follow a specific diet, the more societally accepted that diet is. If you said you were vegan to some normie, they would have a net positive opinion about you. But if you said you eat raw bull's testicles and drink blood, they would think you are very, very weird. You could argue if the diet become less of a stigma, the more women follow it. Or do more women follow it because the diet isn't really a social stigma? I would say both. It's different for men because they are more likely and less afraid to be social outcasts. Because for most of the human history, getting ostracized from a society for women was an automatic death sentence, contrary to men who could survive in the wild if they were strong or smart enough. Now, I don't think about diets that much. I'm neither a raw primal nor vegan. I'm a normie, and I really don't give a damn about what you eat as long as you are white and based. In the recent year, the primal diet has seen a lot of female influencers show up. For the guys that want to buy raw crocodile testicles at a local tech shop, this is a good thing. And if they were high IQ enough, they would promote this to the ladies more. Because if the ratio of 9 primal guys to 1 primal woman ratio became, let's say, 6 primal guys to 4 primal women, normies wouldn't consider the diet so weird. Women joining the communities that are more about achieving your dream world/society is a benefit. Contrary to the ones where the goal is seeking truth. I will talk about this in my future videos. Now let's see some of the primal chicks. Also, the thing is, most of these female influencers most likely only join to extract money and attention from low-functioning autistic primal crowd, and aside from the optics aren't able to provide any value. They are only capable of repeating the brain-dead talking points. None of them are really out of the ordinary. Just the usual LARPing to get infinite resources from simps. I remember this girl called Primal Deer. She changed her name and deleted her Instagram. She still has a TikTok and she lives in Germany. I remember how she mentioned that her dad is German and her mom is a Filipina. She was doing the usual e-girl shit, and I could swear on my life she was selling raw meat protein bars from a link in her bio. Tails, back me up in the comments. I remember how you mentioned her in one of your past videos. There is Brukido Essenkook who didn't do much except eat raw meat in front of strangers on Omegle. Also, I included her because I found this clip fascinating.
Are you transformation?
Transformation?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Like you a woman, but you have.
No, I'm a woman.
The fact that Asansel thought she was a tranny because he never thought a woman could be less recessed than him, it really shows how even Western women robustness mog a lot of sand cells. Anyway, I don't have much to say about primal ladies. Aside from Duru Bilimlier. I found out about her from Solar Youth's video, Primal Women, the epitome of health and beauty. I find it hilarious how she literally has lip filler and dyed her hair and wears a shit ton of makeup and claims to be natural. The reason I'm making this video is for the shit she said in her video titled, "Here's Why the Most Beautiful People in the World Eat Meat." And she said such low IQ stuff that I have to debunk, and it links to the next point of the video.
Good. They won the genetic lottery.
I don't like the term genetic lottery because it implies that anyone in the world could have been born anywhere to anyone. This is bullshit since there was 0% chance for Rehab or Asana to be born as white men, and there was 100% chance for me to be born as a white man. And did I deserve to be born white? Yes.
Because that person's ancestors ate so much nutrient-dense foods that now, in this generation, they have these beautiful cheekbones, beautiful jawline, like, you know, deep-set eyes, and they still look amazing. How come? Well, their ancestors, again, ate so much meat, they ate so many mammoth steaks, that their bone density, the mineral, nutrient, vitamin density in their bone is so potent that the next couple generations of their offspring still look fan-frickin-tastic, despite that current grandchild eating the worst of the worst garbage humankind has ever been introduced.
Anyway, I noticed that these people, if they can't prove that an attractive person ate a diet rich in animal products or find out they ate pure slop as a child, they will retreat to the bulletproof position of their ancestors ate a lot of raw meat, which is something they can't prove and you can't debunk. But again, even if they did eat a lot of meat, it is because they had these features. Bone structure like this isn't just good looking, it is a massive advantage when it comes to hunting and fighting. Since with your jaw you can produce a lot of force. Your maxilla is well projected, so your airways are wide and your brain and muscles have more oxygen, thus making you smarter. Deep-set eyes, so they are protected from blows. If someone with eyes like this got punched in the eye area, they would go blind.
All good-looking people, they generally look kind of similar to each other because they have similar...
Because they all come from the same stock.
So as you can see, this lovely lady looks like her ancestors, and it is obvious that she's still eating a lot of animal-based products, which is why she preserved her bone structure. Beautiful bone structure.
You don't know what her ancestors ate, and also are you so low IQ? This isn't her great-great-great-grandma, it is an old statue of an ideal female side profile, and next to it is a young woman that has that same side profile. You don't fucking know what she ate. You are either restarted or lying, and I can bet 100% she ate more plants than meat.
Beauty is not just some unrealistic standard. It is not just some toxic, unreachable standard that only the top 1% people can reach. We are all meant to have very symmetrical, very beautiful faces. Because like I said before,
these people claim how every human is meant to be good-looking, because every animal develops like they should. But the thing is that is really hard for an animal to reach adulthood even if they have ideal development, so if they don't they simply die. The thing is, the animals with deformed airways, weak jaws, unprotected eyes simply die.
Okay, now let's talk about some of the cultures around the world that are known for their beauty and their beautiful bone structures and a little bit of what they eat. So Native Americans are very well known for their beautiful cheekbones. I'm about to show you what they look like, okay? Wow. Look at those, look at those cheekbones. Beautiful their cheekbones and jawlines are.
It's so infuriating how they all jerk off to American Indians just because they have pronounced cheekbones. Average European who knew nothing else but grain sludge and overcooked burger patties drizzled in seed oils look better than these peep who had perfect air quality, top quality food, etc. I can't listen to this any longer. She sounds so low IQ and so incompetent, like she doesn't even understand what she is talking about. The second thing that is special about her is that she sells a course. She provides so much value. Guys, look.
Who am I? You sure you want to know? The story of my life is not for the faint of heart. If somebody said it was...
She has her own book that she used AI images for. Very cringe. Her school community has 337 members at the moment, and monthly fee is $107. Which means she makes $36,000 a month. This is what I meant when I said this is a low-functioning autist community. No fucking way you would fall for a course about how to grow your face. No way you are this stupid. The community is called Epigenetic Upgrade. These people don't even understand what epigenetics is. It's really, really overhyped. It will make your descendants slightly worse at losing fat or building muscle if you conceive them during a famine. Not the shape of your orbitals or width of your jaw. Not to mention 95 to 99% of all epigenetic markers are erased right after fertilization. What these people believe in isn't epigenetics, it's pure Lamarckian slop. I would say these people are even worse than boomers, because boomers at least understand your looks and height are genetic. And these people think DNA has never been proven. For those who don't know, before Darwin's theory of evolution, there was a theory of a French biologist, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Lamarck lived in 19th century before Mendel, DNA, cellular biology, etc. Lamarck believed that, for example, giraffes have long necks because the parent had to stretch their neck to reach the leaves. And this would make the next generation have bit longer necks, and the cycle would continue until they would reach optimal neck length. But Darwinian, and the correct explanation would be that there used to be both giraffes with long necks and short necks. But since longer necks were much more beneficial for survival, the long-necked giraffes would sexually outcompete the manlet giraffes. The parent has no influence on the trait, he just passes it on. If the trait provided offspring with better reproductive success, the trait would spread, and if it isn't, it would go extinct. But even people during Lamarck's lifetime recognized how retarded his theory of evolution is. Let's see how clueless and backwards these people are. Our bucko that I call solar bucko mistakes cause and effect.
Of everyone either being too poor to afford meat or being the kings and growing to 6'3" like George Washington did. George Washington, right, American revolutionary, descended from the English nobility. He grew very tall because the nobility had access to so much animal products, right?
English nobility were the nobility because they were well developed and tall. Not the other way around. First, one of their male ancestors was tall and well developed. This allowed him to become a great warrior. This gave him the opportunity to get land for his service, and so on. Another primal coper is Self-Maxer. Let's hear his genius analysis on nutrition and genetics.
Either you tell yourself you're not going to be a victim of your genetics, because at the end of the day, the reason why you have the genes that you are is because of the habits of your ancestors, right? We all know this intuitively. Those tribes in Africa where the motherfuckers are 7 feet tall is because they drink a shit ton of raw milk during their development and consume raw meat and all these different things that are very, very good for height growth. So yes, over time, they get super fucking tall.
How is this any different to Lamarck, who claimed that a giraffe has long neck because its ancestors were stretching their necks all the time? This is also what they believed about genetics and evolution in the early Soviet Union. This led to some terrible outcomes.
The reason why you have the genes that you have is because of the habits of your ancestors. And guess what? You can play a part in your future genetics being improved if today you start improving all of those different habits. You're not...
Yes, you can start participate in your future genetics being improved. You get a partner that is better looking / taller / smarter / healthier than you and repeat that for a few generations and you have an Übermensch bloodline. This strategy might be very hard to pull off, but it guarantees results. Also, it would be ideal if you would have many children with this partner to get the absolute best combo, but that is if they want your sub-sapiens genes. This is how you improve your genetics. Not by eating raw meat and dairy. If genetics were just cope, why do dog breeders spend so much time and effort? The Greyhound dog, it is the fastest dog breed in the world. Do you think they just fed it raw meat and kept their fingers crossed? Or did they selectively breed the fastest ones for many generations? For the low-functioning primals in the back, the answer is the latter. Next here is Lamarckian. This guy really made me wonder if these people are stupid or are really trying to financially exploit the low-functioning crowd.
Every boy should be growing taller than their dad. That's just reality, natural selection, that's how it works.
He said natural selection. Does he mean evolution? The fact that this restart doesn't know what natural selection is beyond me. Also, even if he meant evolution, he would be wrong, since every boy will grow to their father's height, and if that height is good, the son will have a son himself.
So I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get the most out of your height development and increase your final height naturally and reach your genetic potential. Let's go. So first off, your height is not pre-programmed at birth.
Also, yes, Marcus, it is pre-programmed at birth.
Like, it's not some genetic blueprint that you have where you're going to reach this height. Growth plates define the capacity, not the outcome. So your genes are what's going to... So studies suggest that height is only like 60 to 80% genetic. So that's a lot of room for change, like a lot of room for environment to change it. Think of it like if it was 80%, that would be the difference between 5 foot and 6 foot. So that's a huge...
You idiot, let me break it down for you. 80% of height being genetic doesn't mean you can increase it by 20%. It means that 80% of height variation can be explained by genetics. This is 1 minute into the video and he already said such low IQ stupid shit. He somewhat portrays himself as pro-Europe, maybe even a bit racist. But I think he is too stupid to be racist. Since racism requires higher computational ability, as you guys will find out in the future. And I find it beyond disgusting that he said long live the victory and has an academy on school with a dude. If he had triple-digit IQ, he would understand that is the reason we are in this mess right now. Not to mention Führer promoted vegetarianism and animal welfare.
We are the real revolutionaries, and we're the real revolutionaries because we're going back to nature and we're going against this modern degenerate society.
To wrap this up, I truly believe this people aren't the revolutionaries. They are just another breed of regime's leash dogs. Believing in complete Marxist nonsense, I would say they are worse than boomers when it comes to denying genetics and pissing and shitting on everything our ancestors fought to achieve. Boomer will at least tell you, son, I suffer from heart disease since my dad and uncle also had this problem, or say that, for example, they are short because their mom is short or something like that. And these restarts believe they are short is because their parents didn't feed them raw crocodile testicles and giraffe milk. The belief that you aren't a tall Chad just because your parents didn't follow Goati's or A. Jonas's dietary advice can be a very comforting cope. But all copes must come to an end. The primal community is in reality very anti-white and will continue to spread because of that. They preach how these tribes in Australia, Africa, and America lived happy, healthy lives of eating raw meat, sunning their balls, dying at the age of 31. until evil white man stole it all and forced them to live like humans and not animals. They are very much like hippies but propagate raw meat instead of vegetarianism. That's all I had to say. If you like this, feel free to leave a like, nice comment, or even share it with your favorite raw meat YouTuber. I would love it if one of them would react to my video. Anyway, peace and love.